Hello and welcome back to jamfuze, the developers version. So this is a version or two ahead of what the real developers are working on. This is my version. So their version will look nicer but not do quite as much until I give them all this stuff. So let's fire up jamfuze offline, which will look a lot nicer than this when it's finished. Okay, so basically we've got a few more changes here. In the what size do you want, you've now got an SD selection, and what codec, you've got a few more things. We've got 36, 115, 175, which is DNxHD as asked for. But we've also got these things down here, which are Avid offline resolutions, 4:1M, 10:1 and 15:1S. These were requested by people in New Zealand, so I've done it for them. So currently it's only tested at 25, it might work at 23.98, who knows? Okay, let's get on with it and do it. Okay, so let's choose some red files. These will be in my Jamie ALE test folder. There's 3 red files in there, one of which has got audio. We're going to go out to AAA test, which is that folder there. I'm going to call it Wee. So we want to be standard definition, and I want it to be 15:1S, which looks really bad, but there you go, such is life. We're going to have burn-ins, tidy up the file afterwards, which gets rid of all the intermediate stuff, and move the MXFs to the Avid Media folder, which is listed there. And this takes around the 2.5 times duration. So I'll cut it and we'll come back. No, I won't. One thing you'll notice is in this version, my version, this is what you get now. A little barber pole window. The details are there as it was. I'm hoping that the developers for real will actually put some kind of progress bar there to let you know how many files are done and how many to go, but we'll see. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, welcome back. So that took about 2.5 times the duration of the clips. It was about 5 minutes and 20 seconds, something like that. And it's what it's left us with is in the AAA test, the output folder is one ALE file, and it's moved all of its media into the Avid MXF folder. So if we switch over to the Avid, it's rescanned its database, but this is a 25 frames project. So I'm just going to stick it to 1080p 25, and I'm going to drag that ALE in to the offline bin. Okay, now we need to relink it. So we select them all and relink to this stuff here. Any SD video format, most compressed, that's what we need, and it'll go away and it'll find the worst looking clips it can find. There we are, look, dreadful, but that's what people want. So, and hopefully you can hear that that's come in with the ALE, yeah? It's come in as V1 and A1, which I'll expand that out and you can see it's got V1, A1, which is exactly what the camera recorded. These two are just V1. So I modified the ALE writing bit to do that, and we've got all the other metadata gubbins all there. The only thing that I've also done is the tape name now is very short, so it respects what the ALE does, so you need to use the correct version to relink to. Okay, so I'm going to do an edit with this, this and this. Now these clips are interesting because this one is essentially a time-lapse clip which came in perfectly, as you can see. This one is essentially undercranked, about 6 frames a second or something, and this one is normal with sound. So they're all differently shot, but they all came in fine, so that's good. I'm going to make an edit with some time warp effects and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'll be back in a few. Okay, I've now done my best edit ever, and this involves, on this side here, we've got the time-lapse clouds mixing through to the undercranked man, and then the clapperboard from this scene so we can hear some audio, and then a mix to black. Okay, so let's watch that. So that's what it does. Speedy, speedy, slow, speedy, speedy mix, audio, and then a fade to black. Okay, so that sequence involves time warps, mixes, audio, and fades to black. The kind of things that you get in stuff that goes on today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is rebuild that at a higher resolution. So we use the usual trick. It's Alt and drag it into an online bin to make a copy of it, highlight it and decompose it. Say we want some handles, okay, and then we make a new sequence, call it all clips, and we highlight the clips we need, Alt drag them into there. That makes our "this is what you need" sequence. Okay, I'm going to output that to an EDL. Here we are, there's the EDL, and it's red 16 that we're using as the template. So it's got the red name and where we need the media from. I'm going to save that, vision only, so that's all we're interested in. All clips.edl on the desktop. So that's what we've got. Create EDL manager and hide Avid. Okay, so now we're going to go to the online bit. Choose online. I want to choose where the red files are. They're in Jamie ALE test, so that's where we'll go. And we'll choose the EDL that we want, which is on my desktop. It's called All Clips. And I'm going to pick 1920 by 1080, fit height 175, 25 frames, red space, red log. I'm going to put 709, camera RGB and 709, tidy up them afterwards and move them in. So that's going to basically make DNx185 media for PAL with this colour space and gamma, and you can pick red space and red log or other things. I might well expand that to be the PD logs as well if people want it. Okay, and this is going to take about 6 times the duration to do it, so we'll be back in a minute. Right, so the online bit has taken place. It's made the new 185 media and put it in the Avid MXF1 folder, and all we need to do is go back to the Avid. Let's just double check our sequence. So this is the one we're after. It's clouds, man and stuff. Fades to black. So what we need to do now is we need to relink this one. So I'm going to do that with the relink command. I'm going to do it by HD highest quality. That hopefully should find the DNx185. I'll create a new sequence and I'll say OK. So that's the relinked one. So I'm going to name online and double click that. And now we should see a lot nicer looking video, which it is. You probably won't see that on the web, but there you go. It is a lot nicer. And we'll do the usual trick. I will load up the offline edit into this window and the online edit into this one, and then I'll link them together and we'll step through and see what happens. Now even the time warp has rebuilt properly, and so that cuts in the right place, and the sound is still there. You don't have to change any of that. Fade to black all works. That's as easy as it gets for a complicated sequence. Okay, bye.